Hello, this is Vulturefire, and today's video is going to be a challenge run. It's kind of different from other challenge runs in that this isn't, our goal isn't really to win the run. Our goal is to achieve a specific state, which is, our goal is to apply every single debuff in the game to the same enemy at the same time. So there are 13 debuffs that you can apply to enemies. I've pulled them up on the screen now. They are Ambushed, Arcane Weakness, Bleed, Burn, Curse, Frail, Frostbite, Frozen, Leech, Poison, Shocked, Vulnerable, and Weak. So the first thing to know is that on the beta, our only ways to apply Ambushed are the Sticky Flask Trinket, the Serrated Trap Tool, and then technically enemies can start ambushed in certain events, but we really don't want to rely on that. So out of all of those, obviously, the Serrated Trap Tool is going to be the only one we can rely on finding, because we may or may not find Sticky Flask at all. So if we need Serrated Trap, which is a tool, we need to be playing Inna. Again, other characters could theoretically find tools either through using Dig Through Muck in Area 3, or finding Bag of Tools, but that seems a bit too much like gambling to me. So we're going to start with Inna. The other thing is, like, there are a lot of other tools that will give us debuffs that are going to be useful to us. So for example, Poison Bomb will cover Poison and Frail, Bottled Ectoplasm will cover Curse. We can't really count on Caltrops because that won't appear in, unless there are at least 3 enemies, so I don't want to rely on it. But Shocking Baton can give Shock, Magnifying Glass can give Vulnerable. I think that's all of the, right, and then I don't think any of the high rarity tools are going to help here. Firebomb can give Burn, but similar to Caltrops, we can't rely on it. Same deal with Freezing Concoction. So just a lot of good things there. So I'm going to leave this list up while I deck build so that you can refer to it and I can refer to it. I'm not sure if it'll stay on the screen throughout the whole run. We'll see how things end up going. So I think we want Deft Focus. I think we probably need Improvise. So one of the things that I need to figure out is how many things am I putting in the starting deck and how many things am I just planning to find in the pool. So I think I want a tweak, even though it doesn't generate any debuffs. I think we're going to be playing longer fights. It's going to help us with those. Similarly, I want Hobble. Same deal. I mean, it applies weak, which is great. I'm not going to use, I might also use a Toxic Cloud, although I don't love that you have to upgrade it before it can apply weak too. But this does apply several other debuffs. This will be a good leech source. We need at least one way to actually get shield, of course, which probably will end up being Heavy Stand, just because Heavy Stand is very good. But it doesn't have to be. I think it is, though. We may also want an Overflowing Barrier, so we have 2 ways to get shield, because I don't know that one is going to be enough. And this one is costing 0 is a big deal. We're going to want at least 2 more mana cards. I'm fine with playing relatively light on mana, but we can't play completely at 0. We're going to go with 2 focuses. I have had problems. Actually, let's go with 1 focus and 1 resolute focus. The problem I've had is that with like these 3-cost cards, it can be awkward to get to 0 with Inna sometimes. So, because you start now at 2 mana, then you'll get 2 immediately. And so if you have these like 3-cost things and the improvises, it can be tricky to line things up, right? So that leaves us with 1 more spot in our starting deck, which I think we may spend on Frostfire, which is not a card I love, but it is a card that will do good work for us here, I think. We also probably will need Visions of Frost at some point as a way to apply Frozen. But I think Frostfire is good because this doesn't actually help us kill and we don't have that much damage in our starting deck, so having Frostfire seems like it could be useful. So that is our starting list. Oh, I just clicked new deck, didn't I? I had just created this list here to use, and then I just totally forgot Let's get all those cards back in then. Toxic Cloud, Frostfire. What else? Oh, Improvises. Okay. So now, here's another one that's going to be tricky. Arcane Weakness. The reason this one is tricky is because if this triggers an Arcane Detonation, we lose the Arcane Weakness rank, which means we're probably going to have to upgrade Hex to get that value. Witching Blast is probably not actually... We might include Witching Blast just like so that we have it, but it's very, very hard, even upgraded, for Witching Blast to not just trip twice, especially if we don't have a lot of other Arcane. So that could be a problem. We'll keep an eye on it. So, Ambush, like I said, Serrated Trap is all we've got. It's Arcane Weakness taken care of. Bleed, Serrated Trap. So, we kind of don't have to do Bleed at all. And the reason why is that we can only get Ambush off of Serrated Trap. And Serrated Trap also gives Bleed, which means that in any situation where Serrated Trap, where we have fulfilled Ambush, we have fulfilled Bleed. So that should be easy enough to do. We could include Barbed Gale because it is Predator and that's funny, but we are really a Dirtle deck, and I don't know how much Predator actually ends up helping us, which is kind of hilarious. Garrote is also okay, but it runs the risk of killing things before we can finish setting up debuffs. I think that we're going to rely entirely on the Serrated Traps, which is possibly a 4 choice. For Burn, I think we'll take Increasing Inferno. We already have the Frostfire in our starting deck, and so between that and Increasing Inferno, we should be good. I don't think we need to go too hard, again, because we do have this Frostfire, and once we upgrade the Frostfire with the tweak, it's even easier to just keep that up. So Curse, we may rely primarily on Bottled Ectoplasm. But Curse of Decrepitude seems fine. Death Frost Storm seems fine. It's another way to get Frail. It's another way to get Curse. It's another way to get Frostbite. All those things seem reasonable. I think that's probably enough on Curse. Again, because Bottled Ectoplasms are pretty reliable. Oh, we don't need Frozen, we need Frost. So for Frost, one of those things again is that Arcane Weakness means that normally for Frost I would want to use like Frozen Rift or Absorb Element, but we can't risk detonating things because if we detonate them, they lose their Arcane Weakness. We need them to have their Arcane Weakness. So that's a challenge. Likewise, directly doing damage has a chance of taking away shock stacks. And that's also a problem. So like normally I'd run Ferric Rime. I don't like Ferric Rime in this case. Ice Burn though. There's no way to get burn. That'll do. Let's see. Elite. See, I hit Frail. No, I didn't look up Frail. I just skipped some. Oh, Investigate will be good. I don't think we need that many more Frail sources. I do think that Poison Bombs are fairly reliable because they are common. We do see them pretty regularly. And then I think Death Frost Storm is and we have Toxic Cloud in our starting deck. So yeah, I think we're good on Frail. Yep. Frostbite, I think we're good. We have the Death Frost Storm. We have the Frostfire in the starting deck. We could take Frozen Gust, but I'm not a huge fan of that if we aren't going all in on Frostbite, and we are not going all in on Frostbite. We already did Frozen. Leech. We have the Toxic Cloud. That's basically the card. For Poison, Poison Splash seems okay. And it would actually help us, end fights if we wanted to do that. Although mostly I think we're good on Poison. I think the Toxic Cloud is going to have us covered. Maybe we're taking Withering Spray's way to actually end fights, though. Although, I don't know if we can actually, how effectively we'll be able to use it, but it's worth a shot. For Shock, I like Scramble. I like, Shocking Aura. But our main goal is just to find a Shocking Grasp. And then that's Shock. Vulnerable. Surprise Attack works. And then I like Sunder as our other one and Vicious Retort. I think those are pretty good options. And then for weak, we have the Hobble and the Toxic Cloud in our starting deck. I don't think we need more weak. I think we're good on that. Okay, so that's all of our debuffs. So now we can spend our other cards on not dying. I know that this has the possibility of popping our Arcane Weakness. I think we have to risk it. I think having access to the Cleanse is too important. I think increasing mana seems good. I think Mana Eruption seems good. I think... I don't think. This is a growth source mainly. That's why I'm taking it. This is funny. And I think I may just take the Charged Shield as a way to get shield. Although Peace of Mind is also kind of tempting. I think we'll take the Charged Shield. Then Arms Race doesn't do anything for us. Brilliant Idea is always good. Cultivate's fun. Frantic Showering is pretty good once you have upgraded it so that it is only discard 1. Hunt, again, like I don't know how much the criticals are actually going to matter, but it's worth a shot. I don't think we're going to get Incandescent Focus active. We might get Quick Thinking active. I don't know how much I like Secret Cache. I don't know how much I like Weary Concentration, but it's probably... Oh, we are over our count already. How to decide what I'm going to end up cutting. Might be the Withering Spray. Or I could just cut a couple of these mana cards I just tossed in. I think Hunt is probably bad with where we're at. I do still want to get... I think... I kind of want to get Moonlit Reverie or Meditate or Mental Growth in there. Because I do think we're going to want the growth. We'll go with that. And then I just have to figure out what I'm cutting, like I said. I think we don't need the Withering Spray. By definition, if that works, then we already have Poison applied. I think... we probably don't need the Poison Splash either, and it does potentially hurt us. Although, Quick Thinking tends to be tricky to use. I'm a bit leery of how little mana we have here. Because I'm worried that we might end up unable to pay for things. So, on Arcane Weakness, my real goal is that ideally we end up fighting Vessel of Knowledge in Area 1. Because if that happens, we're golden. I think we'd actually rather have... I'm just going to assume that we're going to be fine on mana. Although that is a very, very risky bet. We don't have that much card draw either. Because we kind of put in all these like random one-offs. So, this could be tricky. Card roll when we start the run, sure. Extra rest, Aether. More recoverable health, more max mana, sure. We'll take all those things. Alright, so we're going to see how long it takes us. So this may not end up being a full run, depending on how this goes. If I can get all 13 debuffs on an enemy, I may just call the run early. I think Sanctuary is just such a useful safety tool that we want it. And Grimoire Wisdom is very handy for managing cards. Okay, we do have Vessel of Wisdom as a thing we can fight, but we don't have a reroll, so we can't force the card we want, although Mana Font is a very good consolation prize. Trying to think if there are any monster cards here that are relevant to us. That's a way to get frozen, I guess. Technically, we don't have a light shock element, so we can't get Shocking Grasp. And then don't think these are, so that's a way to get Vulnerable out. It's a way to get Bleed out. I think we're going to be fine. I just want to hit these events and see if I can get some upgrades. Hobble is the most important upgrade. The other thing is I can save tools between turns, if I remember, which I have a tendency to forget that I'm trying to do that. But we can't hit the perfect score yet. Arcane Weakness is So I think where I've got the list is, just the list is going to cover up in it. You don't need to see it. There is no inna, only the list. Okay, so let's see. You can draw a card. I like upgrading that, but we can't actually get the extra tools out of it this turn, but that's fine. So right now we could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could get up to 8 of our 13 right now, which, like I said, we cannot fully get there this fight regardless. We just have no way to apply Arcane Weakness. We have no way to apply Frozen. I suppose that with the Frostbite we could get there technically. But, all right, so we're going to upgrade that. And then upgrade, I think, the Toxic Cloud. Oh, I should have gotten that out. Whatever, it's fine. Just taking a tiny amount of damage here, and then the leech will heal us back anyway. And things just eventually die. It's not a quick process, but it happens. Let's raid a trap first. Just get more mana. And then, yeah, we're just going to win with bleed damage. Okay. So, Sunder would be a vulnerable source that's more consistent than whatever. I think we want the Visions of Frost. Okay, this one's annoying. It's one of those like worst possible event things. Trying to think. How do we get the most value? I think it's by saving the Ink Quill for now. We can play this, but I don't think we need to. I really like copying this tweak just because tweak only costing 1 mana makes things so much easier for us. I think tweaking our mana has to be kind of where we start. Play some more Frail out. Yes, where the name of the game is just ever so slowly chipping through enemies with debuffs in between using Sanctuary and Overflowing Barrier to undo all of our hard work. But we have Tweak, which is kind of our plan for getting long-term value. And Tweak sort of ensures that it's very hard for us to fully fail. All right, so we need to play this in order to get that off. So we're going to have to play it anyway. We may as well upgrade that. I do kind of like the idea of getting this off. But you just don't. Let me go and get the shock off as well. So let me check my list again. Is Arcane Weakness the only one we're missing? We can do Ambushed, check. We can do Bleed, check. We can do Burn, check. Curse, yes. Frail, yes. Frostbite, yes. Frozen, yes. Leech, yes. Poison, yes. Shocked, yes. Vulnerable, yes. Weak, yes. So vulnerable is the one that one of the ones that I'm least confident in because that is also reliant on a tool. But overall, I think we are in very good shape. So that's great because that lets us do that. Yeah, so basically we could get this sorted in Area 1 if we can get the right card from that mid-boss. I can just delete you, just make you go away. Okay. Just nickel and diming to death. Like I said, mana is just kind of a problem, but that's life. I don't really want to play this, but I also really do want to draw a card, so. Oh, I can't copy that again because I should. Because this can no longer copy temporary cards, I need to be more careful about how I order it. Okay. It's actually very good timing, because I love being able to upgrade that. And the other thing is we can save a lot more tools right now because we have the Grimoire of Wisdom, which means that we can hold a lot more cards in hand. Or we can hold 2 more, which means that we can hold 2 more tools between turns. Let's just do this. There we go. I think we just take the Mind Seed. Having that vulnerable source probably would have made sense. I'm kind of I am very much just like, this is the Arcane Flow waiting room. And the reason, don't think I finished explaining, the reason Arcane Flow is so important is because it doesn't apply Arcane, so it's just very clean and easy to... Okay, and we didn't actually have enough mana to get the mana option there. I'm just so used to playing... Before this beta, I would almost always have enough mana cards always to trip that, and I just don't right now. Sure, we'll take Bladed. Okay. Cannot use this. Save this rated trap for a moment. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. That'll get us out a decent amount of damage. Alright, we do need the extra shield because we are going to get Arcane detonated here. Okay. And then we can get, we just have to get shield. I was debating between the shield and all the damaging debuffs. But yeah, like I said, mana, problem. We have too many expensive cards, and the Resolute Focus has proven to be just a little bit awkward with the specific set of cards we've got. I guess I'm playing that, although it's kind of awkward. Yeah, this is kind of why I don't want to bother keeping the run going until the end, if I can bail out early, because it is just kind of a... It is on purpose, but it is a slog. Let's go ahead and actually upgrade the Hobble. See what tools we get out of that. Okay. Okay, down to just 1. And we have lethal. Okay, we're going to take the Hex as a safety measure. This is actually actively bad for us, because this makes it harder for Hex to fail. And we really need Hex to fail. Alright. So, this fight begins... At the end of this fight, we have a 50-50 shot of things being a success. If this fails, like, we do have Hex as a backup plan. And it is theoretically possible we could get there this fight. Let's go ahead and apply Curse. Yeah, the shock is basically free. Keep that explosion off. We are probably going to eat this Doom proc though, which is, you know, unfortunate. So this would apply. Trying to figure out what that would actually, which of those would keep. Okay. Yeah, this is unfortunately going to detonate. But eventually, we'll have done enough detonations that it probably won't. That's our plan anyway. I think we upgrade the focus. I think we're just going to hold the serrated trap. And so, because the serrated trap is kind of one of our keys to actually getting all of our debuffs out. Let's see, that's also going to be a detonation. Let me actually just kill before, which is the other thing, like, we might kill before that card misses. Especially because, like, we have these adepts, because I keep playing that card even though I probably shouldn't. And I just keep applying more debuffs, even when I really don't need to. Copy the mana. The advantage of playing that is that it works. So the problem with doing that freeze there is that it does mean that it is now going to be much, much harder for us to get the other freeze when we need it. But mistakes were made. I think at this point we've kind of given up on trying to get this to go. Okay, so the other trick here is if I do tweak this, now we get 2, and so unless that's a double detonation, we get to keep it. But it was a double detonation, we won. Oops. Ah, no, no. Normally you're very happy to see mana font, but we needed that arcane flow. So this run is now, we are now all in on plan get arcane, get hex to miss, which is not going to be easy, but we'll see what we can do. Okay. Going right gives us an elite fight, which going left has a chance to upgrade, but it feels like a pretty low chance. So we will go here, take this fight. I should also be saving a magnifying glass, just because it's our only way to get vulnerable. But I think our odds of getting there with this fight are pretty low. There's no way that this thing is surviving long enough to get through a double hex. I should just sequence that differently. It's fine. I suppose, like I said, theoretically there's a world where we just like play around planning to set up. This is one of those things, like, if I was more patient, we would have a much better shot at this. But I'm not patient. Alright, we are bleeding. Trace you. Okay. Yeah, I think the ship has sailed on actually getting into this fight. I don't think there's any way. And also this guy applies blade, which is really annoying. I don't want to keep dealing with it, so it's also a reason to try and get this kill. Okay, so we are still adept. That's unfortunate. So this definitely kills you. We win. And moving on. More Frostbite's okay. Oh, Corrupt 1 is very good. Just keeps all of our stuff going for another turn. I'm too lazy to cut things, so let's give this another shot at Impale, which is not bad. Alright. Trying to find mana. No luck. It's also not enough. Now we just have a bad time. Yeah, I just kind of gambled everything on finding mana. How many mana cards are left in the deck? Only 3. Yeah, we just don't have that much mana. And then we have doesn't produce that much mana. Which is a little bit of a problem. We are now bleeding. Toxic Cloud. Digging for Sanctuary, which I shouldn't be bothering with. Okay, so we're just going to take some damage here, but we're going to kill that. Goodbye. Alright, we have that. There's the thing I would have liked to have played. Just hemorrhaging so much health here for absolutely no reason. Hey. Okay. I don't think a second Hex makes anything better. I think Frantic Scouring seems okay, just because we have so much extra space in hand, or we have so much of a problem with actual mana right now. And, like, I can't cut this because we need it for the leech. And I think we need the cheap way to get access to weak. I don't actually think the Impale is that important. Because it does damage, which is not something we want to do. Absolutely, we will go in and risk it. That gets us a free upgrade, which we will probably spend on one of our mana cards. I think the Mind Seed, because it just gives us growth 6 the instant we play it, which is very, very useful. And then this is actually not particularly helpful to us, but we're doing it anyway. In fact, you could say correctly that because of Hex is actively unhelpful to us, and you'd be right. You could say it correctly, and you'd be right. Let's go ahead and pop off some of those ranks. Upgrade our mana. Draw some cards. Okay. Everyone is weaklings. Pitch those two. Hopefully get useful tools. That'll do. And yeah, let's go and do that damage out. No, you can't give out shield. Pop. We do need more shield. Give me a second. All right, I paused the recording for a bit, but I am back. I am very strongly considering restarting the run after this fight to take another crack at Arcane Flow, because just like, this is such a nightmare in terms of lining it up if we don't have access to that. But I may also try just upgrading Hex and see if that helps. Get everything frozen if we can. Go ahead and kill you off because you're the most annoying. And then just keep tweaking our mana. We don't need that right now. Go ahead and let things die. Or take damage, I guess. So back one died. Toxic Cloud. Pretty okay. Pitch those two. Okay, there's Hex. Yeah, nope, rip. Sure, we'll upgrade Frostbite. Frostfire, rather. Okay. Fight over. Let's see. I think I kind of just need the mana. I think we just have to assume we have enough shield. Alright, let's see what we can do. Oh, this card, though, really does need an upgrade because it is just so much easier to use once you're only discarding one card. Let's curse and poison and shock, and then just let it go. Trying to figure out how I get to 0, and the answer is like this. We are just going to play that. Do get to block this incoming bleed, which is nice. So we do have to also get access to you in order for Sorted Trap to work, which is a potential complication. Go and do that just to get out some damage on this one. I'm betting that just, yeah, it's just gonna do some more damage. We don't give too much shield to this front one, so I think we're gonna stop there for now. Because yeah, killing the summons is actually a bit of a challenge for us, considering. Probably going to try and freeze out this summon. Which makes life much easier on us. May as well go do that. Or frostbite and such. We do not actually want to head up right now, I think. I don't think we were ever getting that arcane weakness off without accidentally popping, so... You can find Hex, no. Is Hex even in the, yeah, it is over there. So one of those, freeze you just for fun, because I'll actually freeze you for 2 turns, which is fun, which is super fun. Come on, upgrade that, just get lots of shield. I should not have grabbed that adept. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. I should have just saved the sharpening stone for next turn. I'm not awake enough to be doing this. The other issue is, like, we do still have to get through this one before we can do this. If I was serious about this, I would absolutely be planning out better which tools I need to be saving. We need to do that, because that is going to give us more health on this guy. More health and shield. Okay. Moment of truth. Nope. Dead. Okay. I think we need to take the mana. That much is clear. Birchen Ring is actually kind of useful. I think we take one of these two, though. I think Scroll of Recall. We're going to upgrade. I think the Frantic Scouring is a toss-up between that and the... We could just cut the Frantic Scouring. It's not that good for us. We upgrade the Hex and cut the Frantic Scouring. And so, none of these drops, I think, matter to us. I think we are all about just trying to line up. I think this fight's good because they just have so much health, and they're good at turtling, and they don't scale. So I think that's the fight we want to be in. Kind of like the idea of getting access to Burning Focus. That'd be nifty. We are going to upgrade the focus. We are absolutely not going to get there this fight, though. Oh, I should... Oh, of course, I didn't really have a choice. I was going to say I shouldn't have done whatever, but... Because, yeah, there's no way that things are surviving Hex Plus. Tell you what, if the Treants make it through, I'm probably going to end this attempt and then start another run, and the plan will just be to keep restarting until we get Arcane Flow. Because I think it is that important. Just take the mana, it's fine. Starting wets, sure. Take this elite fight. Should have popped these first in case they ended up being, in case we got any inkwells. I would like to inkwell the Mind Seed. Okay, so we're going to do that. And we can do extra damage out, which will use up our shock, but again, I don't think anything is surviving. Or I don't think anything is making it through without getting detonated. But I could be wrong. The other thing is, like, this is not a fight that I super want to stall out a ton. The only thing I'm okay. So I'd be okay stalling out just the alpha itself, but the Silgas, the smaller ones, I do not want to be messing with. Draw the card. Just save the inkwell for the moment. Really should have saved the freeze for this turn to block the summons, but again, I am clearly just not paying any attention to what I am doing. I feel like that could not be more obvious. Sure, we'll take the sturdy. So yeah, summon and die. Summon and die. And you are just going to die too soon. Which is kind of funny because, like, this is not a fast deck at all. And it's still too fast. Yeah, so we've got 7 debuffs. Yeah, I could save it with that, but I don't want to. Upgrade one of those. Oh, sequencing is difficult. Especially when you're playing relatively quickly. Should have played that. It's whatever. So that is 7 or 8 there, I think, before debuff started wearing off. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow up both of those. And we can kill you. Oh, whoops. I was thinking that we were out of cards in hand, but we absolutely got one from getting that kill. Yeah, once we get past, especially now we have a couple more mana cards, and we have that growth source. Once we get past the first couple turns, we're pretty good on mana. Just those opening turns are very rough. Unfortunately, there aren't really any ways to self-apply weak, or we could do that. But yeah, we just keep blowing stuff up. Part of it is because I keep just playing things that'll give us like adept and stuff. Or like brilliant idea. I don't know how many ways we have to get wits aside from the tweak, but that's fine. I do not think I want to cut anything. Just wait and scavenge. None of this does anything for us. I mean, I guess that technically helps us kill faster if we care. But yeah, this will be the last fight of the run, one way or the other. Upgrade them now. Okay, so this one. Okay, we're off to a good start. So, we got shock. It's now doable. We just need to find all the pieces. So, most of the stuff is going to wear off here in a moment. So what tools do we need to save up? I think we need to find and save a spyglass, and we need to not freeze you until we're ready. Because we want to save this freeze until we need it. Now's as good a time as any to draw cards. Do that. And I can go ahead and freeze you out for whatever it's worth. Go ahead and do that. Means that we don't have to worry as much about timing on that one. We may never get to 0 mana for that. So yeah, we're holding ambushed. We've got arcane. We're holding ambushed and bleed. Arcane weakness is applied. Burn and frostbite are applied. We don't have curse yet. That's the thing we have to find. That'll be in one of these tools. Hopefully, give us. I can just go ahead and blow you up, though. I don't care about you. You just have a bad day. See if we care. Okay, so we've got 7 of them. 7 of our debuffs. Let's upgrade the hobble. Let's improvise. Let's copy the improvise. So the trick here is I have to keep, and this may have already happened once. Okay, so I have to not play that magnifying glass yet until we've got all the other pieces. So let's think. We're gonna need to get the... Okay, so this is great because we can upgrade this toxic cloud. Which gets us extra ranks of several of those debuffs. Right, we got an extra vulnerable. We can upgrade this, which will just let us apply more stuff. So unfortunately, we were at 10, but our burn and our frostbite wore off. So we need to get that out. Get that actually. Just freeze you for a turn because we can. And it's late in the turn to be doing that, but let's just go ahead and get those out of the hand. So yeah, once again, we're at 10. Just let me check real quick which ones are we missing. We are missing Frozen. We are missing... Let me check my list. Let me go through. Okay, so Ambushed, check. Arcane Weakness, check. Bleed, check. Burn, check. We still haven't found any bottled ectoplasms. That's the big one. We're missing... We don't have any curse. We need to find a bottled ectoplasm. We have Frail, we have Frostbite, we have Frozen, we have... Or no, we don't have Frozen. We could have, but we put it on the other thing. We have Leech, but it's going to go away. We have Poison, Shocked, and then we're holding Vulnerable. Okay, so... Alright, there's that. So we have Ectoplasmed. So we need to be able to freeze. Oh, and we do not want to do that on this one. Okay, so we need the Toxic Cloud back. The question is, do we copy the Toxic Cloud? I think not. I think we just copy the mana font. Draw us cards. So we play that. So we're at 9 because this is a buff, which means that we now have... We're missing 4. The 4 we're missing: Bleed, Ambushed, Vulnerable, Frozen. Before I play this, I want to double check that I've got all of that. Ambushed, check. Arcane Weakness, check. Bleed, check. Burn, check. Curse, check. Frail, check. Frostbite, check. Frozen, going to be check. Yeah. Leech, check. Poison, check. Shocked, check. Vulnerable, check. Weak, check. All right. Got him. So I'm going to keep recording until the end of the fight, but... And let me finish doing things. all the mana. Let's upgrade the improvise. One day I wanted to see the tooltip, but it is too late. We can't look backwards, we can only look forward. How many of that is it? 3, 6. And then, hey, we found Hex again. And now we actually want to play it. Get got. Oh, that wasn't even. Just upgraded everything already. Because we've been dragging this fight out so long. Sure. Let's draw more cards. So much vulnerable because we keep rolling that specific tool. Okay, so we got 8 curse on there. Seems fine. 1 down, 1 to go. This one's functionally dead. Right there, that'll just finish off. Pop. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn the list off. That is going to be it, I think, for this video. I may play out the rest of the run. I probably won't bother. It is a very silly deck, and really there's no point in continuing. This existed just to fulfill the one goal, and it did. So I think I am happy to call it here. Just absolutely don't need that Frostfire for not doing that again. So yeah, that is all of the debuffs applied to the same enemy. And I will see you guys next time for probably a full run, actually. Until then, toodles.